Welcome back, guys. I'm here, and thanks to Paramount Plus and their nice little tight window, moving a film from theaters to your home, I get to do a review of a film that's actually, I think it's still at top 10 in the box office, but I saw it at home. Man, things have changed. I'm Mac from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is a review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is now available for your enjoyment if you have a Paramount Plus subscription. I'm a blind film critic, so I actually haven't gotten to see either of the Sonic films with my eyes. So this will be interesting. We're going to talk about audio description and does this film work for blind people or not? Is this something that we can enjoy? Is it not? Who knows? Is it even a good film? So let's get into the plot real quick. This film picks up essentially immediately after the events of the first film. This is definitely a film that you should see the first one before you see the second one because of that, because this film is very referential to the first film. Pretty much the entire cast from the first film is back, even like really minor characters. Like a lot of people got invited back for this one. So if you're going straight into Sonic 2 thinking, oh, these movies are probably stupid, I don't need to see the first one, you might find yourself slightly lost because there are a lot of characters I did not expect to see returning for this movie. And the film actually opens with Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik. He is still stuck on the mushroom planet, and he's trying to figure out how to make coffee out of mushrooms when all of a sudden a portal opens, and he gets an opportunity to go back to Earth to defeat Sonic because he meets a big red guy that Sonic fans will know. Do not call him a porcupine, because that's not what he is. He's an echidna. And his name is Knuckles, voiced by Idris Elba. And so Knuckles teams up with Dr. Robotnik because he's looking for this emerald, and Sonic supposedly knows where this emerald is, but Sonic doesn't actually know where the emerald is, because Sonic is definitely not somebody who takes life too seriously and would never really know where something like that was. Sonic is still hanging out with James Marsden and Tika Sumpter and all the rest of the humans. Instead of it being like a best friend buddy cop vibe that we got in the first film, they're going more for a father-son relationship now between these two, between James Marsden and Sonic. That becomes the heavy-handed suggestion that's actually not so heavy-handed. They just kind of hope you just accept it. They're like, we're going to mention it a couple times, and then you're just going to nod your head. You're just going to nod your head, and you're just going to move on with your life and be like, yes, that's what this film was about. Thank you. And there's a plot. I'm going to call it a plot device because it's not really a plot. So that sister that you remember from the first film, well, she's getting married out in Hawaii. And I guess they're too poor to get airplane tickets, so Sonic uses one of his rings to teleport them, to teleport James and Tika out to Hawaii for the wedding. So that basically gets rid of the humans, which means when Knuckles arrives, Sonic is by himself. Or is he? Because Sonic also has a stalker, a super fan, a little fox with two tails, whose name is Tails. Actually, his name is Miles, but we call him Tails lovingly. Fans of the Sonic franchise. But Tails is there to help Sonic and save Sonic and let Sonic know what's up, because Sonic is so totally confused why this big red dude brought Dr. Robotnik back into his life and why he's so angry. And then they learn about the emerald, and Sonic has some flashbacks to his life when he was little before he got sent away. And an adventure ensues. I would say anything else after that is spoilery, and I don't want to go into that. That's enough setup. You know enough now. That is enough. Um, so I thought, for the most part, that the film works. It was entertaining. The film doesn't always make sense. I don't know that it wants to. Um, it in many ways, I could just be the angry critic that watches a lot of like French movies and just tells you that this film is terrible, because this film is in many ways terrible. I mean, there are some terrible things that make absolutely no sense, and I could be the guy that doesn't like any fun things, and doesn't like having fun, and doesn't like popcorn movies, and went into Sonic the Hedgehog 2 thinking that I was going to be watching an Oscar contender, and I could grade it the same and be like, well, it wasn't Schindler's List, so I'm going to give Sonic a D minus. Like, well, okay. Sometimes you just have to take a film by what it is, what's its genre, what's it trying to do, is it effective? Because yeah, it's pretty obvious that the whole wedding plot is like this giant plot MacGuffin that just doesn't even. It's to get it's to get rid of humans, but it's also to bring other characters back, like minor characters, because you see like a whole bunch of like the humans are all in Hawaii. There's some more people that show up in Hawaii. I don't want to ruin that, but some more people from the first film show up in Hawaii, and they're all out there. And if there wasn't a wedding, they'd have nothing to come out. I guess that's their way of roping everybody into the film so they can all like band together and defeat Dr. Robotnik. I don't know. Um, the whole thing feels stupid and forced. And there's a scene where it's just the whole damn scene didn't make any sense, because the film is like, it's like canceling the first film out. They go, Tails and Sonic are in this bar, right? They have another bar scene, which they had in the first film, which Sonic did the Quicksilver thing where they were about to have a bar fight, and he ran around for like, in like a split second, and moved everybody so everybody either knocked each other out or, whatever. He, ate like a nacho, and it was all in like slow-mo because of how fast he can run versus how everybody else. So he's in this bar scene, right? And like shit's about to go down, but he doesn't run. He doesn't do that again. The scene is perfectly set up for him to do the exact same thing from the first film, but instead, no, he just acts like they're screwed. It's the end of the road. There's nothing he can do. He's run out of ideas. And I'm like, you've literally been here before. What are you doing? What is the point of this scene? Do you have amnesia? Like, what is happening to this character? Because he should have just, I mean, that should have taken like a 5-second fix, just bam, done. But no, he's got to take a different route with that. Which also is really frustrating. Obviously, like the emerald, we don't, like, there isn't really like a lot told about it. It just sort of, they tell you what it is and what it does. There isn't really a lot of mystery about it because nobody really cares. It just sort of, it comes about. And it's this thing that they're looking for only because the film needs them to look for something, not necessarily because it's this like great treasure. This is not the Holy Grail. It just does something cool, and I don't know. Apparently, all of Knuckles' people have died trying to get to this thing. So cool. Yeah, I mean, so there are some things that when you break it down, you're like, okay, well, that was crap. It was entertaining though, and there's some storylines that do connect, some characters that connect, some parts that are entertaining. Jim Carrey is actually really fun as Dr. Robotnik. I'm not gonna lie, I loved him in this role. I thought Idris Elba made a really great voice for Knuckles. Just well written character. Sonic, it's the same. If you liked Sonic before, if not, then you're gonna be annoyed. It's the same thing, same performance. Tails, I enjoyed the voice. Some people have said it's a little too. It sounds like it's from like a child's animated cartoon. I think that's the point for Tails. Like, I don't know where else you would have gone with that. I think if it had been a celebrity voice, I don't know if it would have had to be the right voice to work for me. You know, I just, they could have messed that up the other direction too by putting the wrong celebrity's voice on Tails. So I didn't mind it. I thought Tails was exactly what I expected from Tails. So I wish Tails did more, like functionally, because I liked playing Tails in the video games. He kind of takes a back seat to the other two in terms of being a badass, but that's about it. I have no idea what the character design on these people is, other than what was described to me. So I don't know how good that looks or not based on, video game too. I was able to see at one point, so I have played the video games. I know what the original design of these characters was. I have no idea what they look like in these movies though. So, yeah, it was entertaining. It was, I knew parts of it were stupid. So no, I can't give it like an A either and just run around and talk about how Sonic the Hedgehog is like the best movie I've ever seen. But it also wasn't terrible. So as far as the audio description goes, I think it's kind of hilarious because of the stuff I've been seeing, and the more audio description I listen to, and the more stuff I absorb. There was like this persistence in Sonic the Hedgehog to not call him Dr. Robotnik until like his name was used. Like for a long time, he was like the man with the mustache, and it's like, well, first of all, you've probably seen the first film, and there are a lot of other films and other franchises that I've seen that use character names in the sequels, just assuming that you saw the first film, and if you didn't, then screw you, go pound sand. Like, that seems to be the general, vibe, is if you didn't see the first film, we're just going to use the character names right away because these characters came from the first film, and we'll introduce you to new people, the proper way. So like somebody like Knuckles would come in and his name wouldn't be used until it's revealed by a character. So it's mysterious. But like Robotnik, for some reason, they hid his name forever. And it was kind of crazy because the film it picks up almost exactly where it left off. So I don't think it's like a great mystery. I don't think there are people who are like, ooh, who's this person? And if they are, they shouldn't be watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2 before Sonic the Hedgehog 1. It's very much tied to the first film. They didn't really make a standalone second film. You can't James Bond this movie. This is not something that works without seeing the other one. This is pretty connected to the things that happened in the first film. I'm not 100% sure if I just saw the sequel that it would have entirely made sense. I'm sure I would have gotten through it, but I would have had a completely different experience. So I would have just called him Dr. Robotnik from the moment. First of all, that's also a well-known character from the series. So it was just a weird choice. It was probably made by Paramount, but I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense because it's picking up where it left off. It's like the part 2 or something, and you're like, why? If you watch these movies back to back, it would be very weird. If you're trying to do like a marathon with these films. But That's really my only big thought. I thought the rest of it was really well described. The character descriptions for everybody and how they look, and the mustache on Robotnik, and he builds a thing later on in the film that was pretty well described. Um, yeah, so the action sequences and all that stuff. So it was good. It was a good job. Otherwise, it just threw me for a loop at the persistence of not wanting to use his name because it goes on for a while. Um, well, that's about it on that. So yeah, I had fun. I have fun in movies like this. So I think this is probably about where the last one was. So this is going to be a pretty easy grade for me. I'm going to give Sonic the Hedgehog a B. Sonic Hedgehog 2, I should say. The sequel. A B. Yeah, it's, I can totally admit there are things that if you really want to pick at it, you can spend your whole time and let that ruin the experience for you, or you can just enjoy it for what it is and just accept the fact that it's a video game adaptation and they're never going to be perfect and just roll with it. So, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Throw me a like, throw me a subscribe, throw me a share. You know, throw me your car keys. Let me drive your car around. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Maybe that's not such a great idea. You know, Tails can drive a car. um. Anyway, and a plane. New to Earth, and he just knows how to drive things. So if he can do it, anybody can. And check out my website, macmovieguy.com, and Audio Description Project will let you know what movies have audio description and where to find them. So this is on Paramount Plus. I've said that a couple times. I feel like at this point I should be sponsored by Paramount Plus for this video. And I don't know. The box office on this was insane. I think we're definitely going to get a third one. So I'd be shocked if they didn't make a third one. So they do actually set up a third sequel at the end of the film. So you'll figure that out when you sit through the movie. But enjoy. I thought it was fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.